Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
How's everyone
Hi.
doing?
Fine.
Fine. Hold on a second. Okay. So, should we wait a couple minutes or go ahead and get started, you think? What do you think, Kate?
Maybe we can wait a couple of minutes. I think
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay. Let's do that. And I'm just going to see if I can get on just really quick. And invite some more people. Um, okay. So are things opening in Ukraine or is everything still closed?
We have a bit lightening of the quarantine, but we're still in
Still things are kind of closed.
yeah.
You can't access anything really.
Yeah,
It's the same
exactly.
here. Yeah, that's pretty much the same here. Where is everyone from? Hello. Is everyone from Khmelnytskyi? Or are you from different parts?
I see many familiar faces, but the gentleman, Andrei.
Yeah,
Andrei.
I was born in Ivano-Frankivsk.
Okay. Where do you live now?
In the Netherlands.
Okay.
Wow. And how did you find out about our event?
I before took part in Ivano-Frankivsk event, but I because of quarantine now is I don't have job, so I have a lot of free time, and I thought that it's not only in Ivano-Frankivsk, it's Window of America, is actually in every city. So this is my vibes. Window of America. I yesterday was with Vinnytsia, also with Uzhhorod. Yeah, and it's interesting because I would like learn English and improve my skills. So yeah, I like meet people, and I always wanted, since I was in Ukraine, I always wanted to see how looks like Windows of America in different city, but I must to travel. But now, thanks to this video chat, I can saw, and yeah, it's easier.
Very cool. I think there's another one that a former volunteer like myself does in the Sumi window on America. And her name is Serena. So you should check that one.
Yeah.
See if you can find it.
I saw. It's on my third day, so or fourth, but I only 5, and it was. I don't find information about Thume, but I looking for, and yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, check. I think it's just like this one. The title, like if you look on Facebook, it'll say Windows on America Sumi, or you should be able to find it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I will check.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I looked at the suggestions from last week, and I made another presentation for today. Hello. And so I'm gonna jump in and see what we can discuss. So first let me so I'll try to go back and forth between me and the presentation. Okay, it still shows me. Okay, so hi, this is me. We went through all of this last time. I'm not going to introduce myself too much. Well, I'm not going to at all, actually. But from the last time that we met, one of the suggestions on the Padlet was movies. So that's what we're going to do today. But I'm going to do a particular kind of style of movies. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. But first, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the holidays of the day. So every day is a holiday. And sometimes they're holidays that we know about, and sometimes they're holidays that we have no idea what they are. And then we're going to talk about cult classics and what cult classics kind of mean. And then we'll have the question of the day, which I promise is super easy. Super, super easy. So here are some of the holidays for today. And I forgot a word. So it's World Whiskey Day. And a lot of these holidays, like last week, I think it was Buck something day, Buck meal, something like that. And it was a type of wine. Today, it's World Whiskey Day. And I think a lot of these days are really just promotional tools for different businesses. So if today's World Whiskey Day, it's because they want you to go buy whiskey. I'm not telling you to go buy whiskey, but maybe the lemon industry, since it's Plant a Lemon Tree Day, they want you to go buy a lemon tree. Or maybe they just want you to go buy some lemons, or to go buy some lemon flavored candy, something that will get them more money. But there's also holidays that have nothing to do with money. They're just building awareness. So something like drawing day. I don't think that I can draw, so I don't typically do it. Hi. But on drawing day, it kind of makes me think, well, maybe I should just sit down, maybe go outside get some paper and some pen. No one will ever see what I draw, but I can draw a little bit, which will be good during quarantine, because what else do we have to do? Might as well. And today is also World Fiddle Day. Do you know what a fiddle is?
No, please
Anybody?
clarify.
No.
No one knows what a fiddle is? What if I went like this?
No.
Playing on violin.
Yeah, a fiddle is a type of violin. So today is World Fiddle Day.
Wow.
So I don't know what you're supposed to do on World Fiddle Day. Maybe you can YouTube a fiddle player, or if you have a fiddle, you can break it out of the closet because you haven't touched it in a year since last Fiddle Day, or you can just learn what a fiddle is. So now we know what a fiddle is. It's a type of violin. Fiddles are usually where like violins are kind of classical. Not all the time, but they're mostly seen in like classical music and different things like that. Fiddles are kind of upbeat, fast paced, more country. So fiddles are more, I think, can be more fun. And then it's also Waiters Day. So here in America, things are opening back up. I think you can go to restaurants starting yesterday. You can kind of go to restaurants, a lot more outdoor restaurants than indoor restaurants are open. So nothing where it's really too small of a space, and they can't have that many people. So you can't have like a full restaurant. But it's interesting that today kind of falls on what's Waiters Day, because a waiter is someone who waits on you at a restaurant, and now they're open. So hopefully if people do go out and they go to a restaurant and kind of sit down and hang out a little bit, because we all miss it so much, they're nice to their waiters because it's Waiters Day. And then the last holiday that I chose was Learn to Swim Day. Does anyone not know how to swim?
I can't swim.
No?
No.
So today would be a good holiday for you.
Yeah.
You can do Learn
I
to
guess
Swim
so.
Day.
I guess
But
so.
if you want to learn to swim, you should take someone with you who can
Of
swim.
course. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe don't go to the sea. Maybe just go
Uh-huh.
to a pool if
Mhm.
if there's one nearby. Because if you can't swim, you might drift away into the ocean. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Oh.
I know how to swim. I was taught very young, and I think that's the only way I would know how to swim. I don't know. I think I could learn as an adult, but they say some things are harder to learn as an adult. Maybe because we know too many things. When we see something, it's like, oh no, that's water. No. Where as a kid, we kind of were just like, what's that? What's that? What's that? And we touch everything, we do everything, and we don't know any better as a child. That's why they say learning a language is easier as a child.
Yeah.
Because
course.
as an adult, we look at another language and we say, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. None of that makes any sense. That's me trying to learn Ukrainian and looking at a word and it's being consonant.
Mhm.
You know, like, so difficult, so hard.
Did you succeed in learning Ukrainian?
Taksobi?
Succeed?
Taksobi. Taksobi.
Taksobi. Oh.
So, Trohi. Or I like choo-choo. I know it's Russian.
Uh-huh.
Choo-choo.
Uh-huh,
A little
Do
bit.
you like it?
It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
But I try.
Yes, Ukrainian is the language of case, and even our Karl Karlovich used to say that his Ukrainian was дуже погано.
That's a phrase that I do know. Moja ukraińsku mowa дуже pogano. I know that. That's usually the first thing I say when I meet someone new, or if I go into a store, or if I'm talking to a waiter. Hey, my Ukrainian is very bad. Please bear with me. Please have patience. Very bad. It's like,
This is okay.
or I ask, "Говорите английскую мову?" And they look at me and they say, "Ні." And so the conversation is me pointing and saying, "Я хочу, я хочу." And then they tell me a number, and then I just hold out the money. They take what they need. So, yeah, learning something is usually easier as a child, but it doesn't mean that you can't learn something as an adult. So today is Learn to Swim Day. Okay, so let's see. I just want to check this because someone sent me a message, and I just want to make sure everyone's able, because I reposted the meeting. They said that there's no code or password for the Zoom call. Is there? It's just a link, right? You guys just clicked on the link in order to access?
Yes.
Okay, I will just tell them they should be able to click the link. Oh no, it added everything. Okay, so hopefully they're able to get in now. Okay, so those are our holidays for today. So let's get into cult movies. So a cult classical movie. You've heard of them, you just didn't know that they were called cult films or cult classicals. So a cult film, I can't really read this because this is a little in the way. Okay, so a cult classic or a cult movie can be referred to as a cult classic. So something that has acquired a cult following. So keep saying cult. What does cult mean? It basically means a social group that is defined by its beliefs. So a lot of the time, the word cult is kind of referred to extreme groups of people that usually like believe in a certain thing, like a religion or a deity or some sort of kind of godly figure. And then they really kind of stay together. They might live together and they worship or they have these certain beliefs because it's kind of deemed that no one on the outside would truly understand. So a cult film is just basically people who follow the movie, who are very dedicated and they're very passionate about a certain thing. So that could be for these cult groups, or it could also be about movies. So people who follow cult movies, they know all of the quotes in the movies, the things that make them laugh. They usually know every word to the movie. And then certain cult movies will be shown over and over and over again in theaters. So they might have came out or premiered 30 years ago, but every year movie theaters will show the movie again because people go to see it. So they have repeated viewings, and some of them even have audience participation. Have any of you been to a movie Kind of like this? Where you
No.
go,
No,
no?
no.
No.
Okay, so it's kind of fun actually. Let me see. Okay. So you made it in. Hi, how's it going? So cult movies, they can be kind of fun. I've actually never, actually, no, I take that back. I have been to a showing of a movie where the movie might have come out 20 years ago, but every year they re-show the movie. And now I can't even remember what it was. But when I went, it was one special theater. And because usually when you go to the movies, you don't really talk during the movie, you just sit and you watch it. But for cult movies, because everyone in the theater has seen it so many times, they'll often talk through the whole thing. They'll sing. If there's songs, they'll sing the songs. If there's dance in the movie, people will get up and dance in the aisles, and it's all encouraged. So it's all pretty fun. And
Wow.
I know the movie that I went to, I cannot remember what it was. I'm gonna have to ask my friend, and I'll tell you next week, because I know who I went with, but I can't remember what we saw. But the one that we went to, remember last week where I said I really like comedy and I really like comedians. The cult classic movie that I went to, there were comedians at the front, and they all had microphones so they could talk during the whole movie, and the whole theater could hear what they were saying. And they were basically making fun of the movie as it played. So imagine just going to a regular movie theater, but then there's people talking through it the whole time, and everyone's laughing, and it's so much fun. So that's what I've gone to. But when the theater advertised the movie, they said that it was a movie interruption. So that meant that people would be talking through the entire movie. So you have to kind of, if you want to go to the theater to see this movie, you have to know what kind, especially this theater, they have different kinds of movies. So they have silent movies where you cannot talk during the movie. They watch you. You cannot look at your phone. You cannot pull out your phone. And if someone complains, they'll kick you out of the movie. Like if you're talking too much, they will ask you to leave. So those are like the regular movies. They also have some movies that are the exact opposite, and those will be for the cult classics. So if you like Disney movies and you love singing the songs in Disney movies, they will have sing-along, and they do different ones each week. And when you go look at it, either you're at the ticket office and you're looking at what's available to watch that day, or if you're looking online to buy tickets, it'll say sing along, and then it'll say the title of the movie. That's so you know that people are going to be singing the entire time. Or it'll say quote along, and for a quote along, everyone will be talking and saying the lines from the movie the entire time. And sometimes they even put up the subtitles, so you know exactly what they're saying and you can read along with it. So I love that movie theater. That's kind of the only theater that I go to. It's called Alamo Drafthouse, and they do a lot of fun stuff at that movie theater. But they show a lot of cult classics. And I think the best example of this is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Has anyone seen this movie?
No.
No?
No.
No? I've only seen, maybe I've seen it once, but it is a very bizarre movie. Bizarre It's kind of weird, or it's strange, out of the ordinary. But it has a very, very strong cult following. So there are people who have seen this movie hundreds of times. And they will go to the theater, and it usually plays around Halloween. Because it's not really, it's more of a comedy, but it has some, I don't want to say horror or scary, because I don't think it's very scary, but it kind of has some twisted things that happen. So it could easily be horror if it wasn't a comedy, but it is funny.
But
So,
they play this in cinema or in TV?
Both. So cinemas will play it, and it'll play on TV. Because it has such a following. And with this movie, it's quotable. It's very quotable, meaning there's certain parts of the dialogue that just stick out to you, and people make sure to say those things. And sometimes when things are said, there are certain actions that you're supposed to do. So I have a good example of this. If it'll let me. Okay, so you can bring props to this movie. You can dress up for the movie. Almost everybody dresses up to some degree to go see this movie. And it's been out for years. So look, in 2017, it had been 40 years since this movie came out. And people are still going to the cinema to see it. So here's some things. So you want to dress up. You can bring confetti, because there's a party scene and you throw confetti. You're supposed to bring a newspaper, because, and you see at the bottom, there's one part where the couple goes out into the rain and one of them puts a newspaper over their head. So if you go to see this movie in the theater and that scene comes up, everyone will take the newspaper or something and put it over their head. And they bring it just for that, just to do it once. A water pistol, so a little water gun. A torch, which is, we know, British English. In American English, it's a flashlight. You need to bring rubber gloves. And all of these things are related to the movie somehow. A football rattler. Toilet paper. And someone says, if you see at the bottom, it says, when Dr. Scott enters and Brad said, "Great Scott," you throw the toilet paper. Because in America, there's a brand of toilet paper named Scott.
Oh my God.
So people bring a roll of toilet paper and they throw it. And in the theater, it's just toilet paper everywhere. You bring a piece of toast. Because, of course, someone says, I'd like to propose a toast. And they raise their glasses and they make the toast. But in the theater, everyone throws a piece of bread at the screen. And they're proposing a toast. Right? Makes sense. You get to wear a party hat. Bring a bell and playing cards. So when you come to see this movie, there's a lot going on, basically. There's a lot of interesting things that are going on during this movie. But it's one of, like I said, the best known cult movies, cult classics. And I think it will forever be a movie that people go see in the theater and they take this seriously because it's a lot of fun. It's a fun movie. Okay. Another one is Princess Bride. Has anyone seen The Princess Bride?
I saw it, but I don't remember much.
Don't remember?
Don't remember much from this film.
I've seen this movie once, and it was last year in Lviv. And I had never seen it before then. I was at a camp, and this was one of the movies that we watched. And I really liked it. This movie, I can't remember when, but I almost want to say it's almost as old as Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it's also got a very strong cult following. And it's actually based off of a book. And it's funny. It's a funny movie. One of the things that I find interesting about this movie is it starts off with a grandfather reading the book to his grandson. And then the movie is the book that they're reading. So it's kind of fun that way because they go back and forth between the grandfather and the grandson reading the book and talking about it to scenes from the book. So it's kind of fun how they go back and forth. And then I have some clips. We'll just watch a couple of them, but this shows kind of how quotable a movie can be. So these are the top quotes, and if someone were to say these quotes here in America, then the person that they're talking about would be, oh, Princess Bride. That's how much people have seen this movie. Can you hear it? Can you hear?
No. It's not, no sound.
Okay, hold on. No? No sound? Okay.
No.
Let's see. So let me do speaker. No? You can't hear it?
No.
Can you hear it?
No, it's nothing.
Can you hear it, or can you hear me?
Yeah, you is yeah. You I hear good, but not movie. Yeah.
Can you hear it when it's playing? Okay, you couldn't hear the video?
No.
No. Unfortunately, no.
Okay, let's try it one more time. No?
No.
Okay. So I will. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you hear good.
Okay. It worked last time. Okay. So I'll send the links to these videos in the chat, so you can kind of watch them a little bit, because I have a couple of them. But actually, it works because we only have about 10 minutes left. So we won't watch the videos, and I'll send them to you in the chat at the end. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the next one. The next movie is Heathers. So looking at this image, what do you think the movie might be about?
About friendship
About friendship? What about friendship?
between girls,
Okay.
maybe fight.
Why fighting?
One girl against others.
What in the picture makes you think that?
Damaged photo.
The photo is damaged. Yeah, the photo's ripped. And you have one girl on the ripped side, and then the other three in the rest of the photo. So yeah, maybe something about their little group and then kind of tearing apart. Yeah, that's pretty much what the movie is kind of about. Sort of. There's a lot more to it. So for this movie, it's considered what they call Black teen comedy because of the plot. And actually, I wrote the plot down, but basically, let's take a look back. There's the three girls, and all of those girls' names are Heather. And then you have a newcomer, Veronica, who is the one girl on the side. So she's a newcomer into their group, or what they would call kind of a clique. A clique meaning it's a small group of people. They kind of stay together all the time. They like the same things. They do the same things, and they don't let anyone else participate. Except they kind of let Veronica in. But Veronica doesn't really like them or the way that they treat people. And so she decides to kind of get back at them. And her boyfriend helps. But she gets back at them in kind of a really bad way. And I don't want to give it away, but there's a reason they call it a Black teen comedy, is because it's kind of demented. It's kind of evil. And so they either call it a Black teen comedy or a dark comedy, because it might involve some very mean, evil things. Okay? So a lot of people really enjoy this movie because even though it's a dark movie and bad things happen, it's a comedy. So people kind of really like it. And then, has anyone seen the film Matilda?
No. First picture.
No.
Show us a
Matilda.
picture.
This is one of my favorite movies. So it's kind of the opposite, sort of Heathers, in that it involves a small child, and she comes from this kind of nasty and criminal family. But she's a very sweet and smart girl who discovers she has magic powers. And everyone in my age group, almost everyone in America to some degree, below a certain age has seen this movie. And it's another movie that is very quotable. So if you say something from a cult movie, chances are 80% of the people around you will know exactly what movie you're talking about because they've also seen it. And that's why cult classics or cult films are kind of good to watch, because you understand some cultural things within American culture. Like, you understand the quotes, you understand the idioms that people are saying because they are from these movies. And if someone says, oh, you don't want to talk to those people, they're Heathers, then you know, oh, okay, they're cliquey, they're mean, they're not nice to other people, I probably shouldn't talk to them. Or someone can say, oh, my boss is being a real trench bowl. And you might say, some people who haven't seen the movie will say, what's a trench bowl? Is it an animal? Or is it a thing? Is it a ball? But for someone who has seen the movie, they know that a trench bowl is this lady back here in the bubble with the dark hair looking kind of down in her face. She's Mrs. Trenchbowl, and she's the very mean principal at the school that Matilda goes to. And if someone says, they put me in the pokey. No, it's not the pokey. It's something like a pokey. You would know that it's kind of like a prison because it's in this movie. So there's a lot of cultural references within cult classics that a lot of people might reference in life, and only the people who've seen these movies know what they are. So Matilda is good because it's actually good for the entire family. And then we all know this one, Home
Yes.
Alone.
Yeah,
This is
of course.
one that I think many Ukrainians have seen. I've seen it many times while in Ukraine around Christmas. But did you know that they're doing a remake of Home Alone?
No.
When
Yeah.
he's adult?
No.
He's adult, Kevin? You mean remake something new?
Yep, something new. New people. And they actually have new names. But I think the story might be close to the same. So they were going to start making it, but because of COVID-19, Hollywood and movie making is shut down right now. And Disney is making it, and I think it's going to be on their online platform. So this movie might not go into the cinema, but you'll be able to watch it online. So this will be the new kid, and he was actually in a film last year. I saw it in Ukraine. I think I saw it in Kyiv, called Jojo Rabbit. And he's one of the best friends in the movie. And actually, I thought that he did a really good job. He was really cute. And I think he might make a good lead to this movie, but we'll have to see. The thing about cult classic films is a lot of people don't like it when they are remade because they like the original. The original to them is perfect. So that might be why they aren't showing this movie in the theaters. They're just going to put it online. So who knows? I don't know. I'll watch it. I liked the original. If I don't like it, I can just watch the original. Oh, we'll see. And then The Wizard of Oz. Everyone in America has seen this movie. And so when you go somewhere new and you're kind of lost and you're not sure where to go and you might ask someone, they'll look at you and then say, well, you're not in Oz anymore. And that comes from this movie. If you do something and you're not very smart about it, you could say, oh God, I'm plain old Tin Man today. That means you don't have a brain today. And that's from this movie. Or you could say, let's say you're going to do something and it's kind of scary and then you decide not to do it. Well, someone could say, well, you're being a cowardly lion. And that's from this movie. Let's see. Heart. Oh, okay. Who doesn't have, and one of them doesn't have a heart. But to me, this movie, they did actually make a new version of it called The Wiz. And that's more so for African Americans. There's a lot of singing and dancing, and it's just different enough where it's its own thing. But The Wizard of Oz, I don't think that they could ever remake it. Unlike Home Alone, where I think they could redo that one and it would be just fine. To me, if they tried to remake The Wizard of Oz, I'm not okay with that. You can never remake The Wizard of Oz. To me, it can never be duplicated. It will always be the best.
You always can watch original.
I know. I just said that also for the Home Alone. But for The Wizard of Oz, no.
Don't watch it.
I will
Ever.
I will protest a new version because the original is the best. Oh, actually, we can watch this because she's not really saying anything. But for this movie, at the very beginning, there's a tornado. And her house gets lifted into this tornado, and then it drops in another place. Okay, so with that movie, that was one of the first times they ever used Technicolor. So you saw the first, I'd say like 10 minutes or something like that of the movie is all in black and white. And then it switches into Technicolor. So you know that you're going from one place to a completely different place. It's great for children. There's so many quotes in that movie. It's such a part of American culture. I recommend that after this club, you guys go watch it because it's a really great, fun movie, especially for quarantine. And I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to find it with subtitles, either in English, Ukrainian, or Russian, because it's that beloved that you'll be able to find it.
So here are some titles of some other cult classics. And what I'll do is on Facebook, I'll comment all of these titles and all of the clips. So you feel free to watch those as well. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Okay. Good deal. So that's all, but I have our question of the day, which you can tell me in the chat. What's your favorite movie? And you can write it in Ukrainian, you can write it in English. I've started a list. I have my little bullet journal, and I have some started that my other Ukrainian students suggested to me. So I'll just add them to my list and I'll watch them too. So you saw my favorite ones. Now tell me what's your favorite movie. And then once you've done that, you are free to go. I really appreciate it. You know, we had some technical difficulties, so I'm curious what's going on with that. But I'll send you guys the links because it did work previously. So we'll have to figure out what's going there.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
What about Westerns? They are also called in America? Because, yeah.
They used to be really popular. They're not really popular anymore, unless they're just like the genre of Western isn't popular anymore. But if there is a dramatic movie that happens to be a Western, then it might become more popular. There's classic Westerns that people watch, like The Dirty Dozen and things like that. I'm not familiar with them because I never really watched Westerns, but there are definitely some cult classic Westerns for sure. But they're not as popular as they used to be. So you won't find as many people who will have seen these other movies. Okay, so we have Life is Plain, Dirty Dancing, yes, for sure. Sherlock Holmes, The Fifth Element, yes. That's definitely, it was on last night and I watched it. If The Fifth Element is on TV, I will watch it. Doesn't matter if I've seen it 10,000 times. Passengers, French Kiss, Mysterious Murder, Dead Poet Society, Miracle Worker. Yeah, for sure. Those are good ones. Like I've seen all of these, except I haven't seen Mysterious Murder. I like that one now. Okay, so I'll send those links. I'll post them on the Facebook. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do that now. Thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.